When assessing range of motion in the cervical spine, if you want to do passive range of motion, I'm going to have my patient laying supine on their back like this. You can just scooch towards me a little bit. So I want their head hanging off the table. Now I'm going to support their head. So for passive range of motion, I want to communicate to my patient that we want them completely relaxed. So we can do passive flexion here. See if the patient reports any symptoms of pain, anything like that. Then we can go into passive extension, just letting gravity do the work. Good. Now passive lateral flexion to one side. Again, patient communication is really important here. Passive flexion to this side. And we could also do passive cervical rotation at the same time, being very gentle and very smooth with our motions and communicating with our patient. Then you can scooch back on the table for me. Good. That's passive cervical range of motion. Assessing range of motion in the cervical spine, we can also do resistive range of motion. So we want our patient sitting up nice and straight. Now when assessing this, we want to apply a little bit of pressure and bring them through a full range of motion. So we're going to start with flexion. So we're going to apply a little bit of pressure and then go ahead, Matt, go all the way down to cervical flexion. Good. Now we're going to start flex, go a little bit into extension with some pressure. Good. We're going to do lateral flexion, so we're going to start over here and then I'm going to apply pressure. Go ahead, Matt. Good. And same thing on the other side. We're going to start over here, apply a little bit of pressure. Go ahead. Good. And then the last one is going to be rotation. You want to, have good patient communication. Make sure your hand positioning is not making them uncomfortable. We're going to start on one side of the range of motion. I'm going to apply a little bit of resistance as he works his way across. Go ahead. Good. Nice. And then one more time, we're going to start all the way over here and apply a little bit of resistance. Go ahead. Good. And we want to make sure we bring them through a full range with proper hand positioning. And that's how you do resistive range of motion in the cervical spine. Got it. So the quadrant test is one criteria that I could look at when somebody is complaining of issues with a spondy or a PARS issue. So I would have my patient sitting facing forward like this. Now I want them in good posture. Now this is a lumbar test. We want them to go into lumbar extension just like this. And if I was testing left side, I would have them go into lateral flexion like this, rotation to the same side, and then once they're here, I can then apply an axial load like that. So again, one more time, we go into lumbar extension, lateral flexion, rotation to the same side, and it's the actual load. You can relax. So a positive test here would be a reproduction of symptoms in the lower back. This could indicate a PARS stress fracture or issue like that. So another criteria that I could evaluate when looking for an L4 possible PARS issue or a spondy is the Stork test. So for this one, we're gonna have our patient standing just in front of us here. We're gonna have them in good posture. I'm gonna palpate their iliac crest and their PSIS and make sure that their hips are stable. We're gonna have them pick up their right foot and put the sole of their foot on the medial knee. Now, with me palpating, I'm gonna tell my patient to go into spine extension and lumbar extension. Good, you can relax. And then we're gonna do this test bilaterally. So same thing, you're gonna pick up your left foot now and put it on your medial right knee. Good, and then same thing, go into extension. Good, nice and relaxed. Now, I'm supporting his hips and making sure that we're getting that nice lumbar extension. Positive test here would be pain in the lumbar spine or reproduction symptoms that could indicate a possible PARS interarticularis fracture or issue. Thank you.